Darren, it's happened again.
It has. 2 seasons, 11-1 in aggregate. I think if I'd have said that last season, you'd have thought I was going mad. But fantastic, great day for the fans. 2 seasons in a bounce, have loved it. We've put on a real performance for them.
Yeah, it was a ruthless performance as well. Once you got that opening goal, it just felt it was wave after wave of attack, and each one could end in a goal.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's when you recruit and you want a team that's really built around technical players and pace. I think you've seen how devastating it can be today, and they actually started the game better than us. They were more aggressive. We got a bit of control, but I wasn't too pleased with the first. But once we scored, after that period, then up till half-time, we were devastating.
Yeah, that changes the game, doesn't it? The first goal was so pivotal because they can't rest on their laurels then, and that creates the space, and that's what your team thrives on.
Yeah, and I think the players took a bit of confidence from it as well, in terms of, once we started passing forward and running forward, with that pace, Joe Randall running off from second goal, the pass from Malik, both players, Kwame and Ricky, queuing up, real quality goal. The third goal is absolutely outstanding. It's top draw.
What do you like about the third goal? Is it Ricky holding the ball up, which we don't see a lot of him about, but there's so much to enjoy from it, and the finish as well.
Just the quality in the movement. Kwame, Joel's intelligence to let the ball roll into Ricky. Ricky's hold up. And by the way, Ricky, you don't get the ball off Ricky often. I know. Listen, I'm not saying when he gets a hold of it, he's a strong boy, and brilliant timing, really good goal. And Kwame's just unplayable at the moment. I've got to be honest. I would hate to play against him.
There's a lot to like about the first goal as well, given the lack of space around, but I thought Randall's first time ball into Sparks is pretty special. Yeah,
I think the intelligence and the movement and the one touch, the speed of play is what we worked on. Once you get that round the box, it's hard to play against, but the quality was really top draw in terms of the pass. Joel's great timing from Jack, really good pass and a great cross, and really you can't miss.
You get the fourth before half-time with the penalty, and Malik, even with the stutter run-up, is always tough to watch, but he sent the goalie the wrong way. What's your message then at half-time? Because at 4-0 up, it's easy for a team to rest on their laurels, but it's not how it came out at the start.
No, we didn't want to do that. We wanted to get the next goal. We didn't want to let them off the hook, and there's not many occasions, even when we've won games this season, it's not felt like a win, if you know what I mean. We've had to struggle for it, like 3-2 here when we were 3-0 up. We wanted to really enjoy this one. Once we got the fifth, and then it was a bit of a lull in the game. And I had a decision to make between, because Manny's on 4 bookings, Jack's on 4 bookings, do I get them off? And once we obviously conceded the goal, which we didn't want, but I'm not going to let that ruin the day. We made more substitutions, but it was a really good day for us.
Pleased for Ryan de Havilland to get on the score sheet. Yeah. We're seeing what a good player he is, Darren.
The boy's a good player, and it was tough for him last season, but we always knew it was going to be a season where, and I think that some players are probably a good example of that. When they join us, I think they'll be better in the second season, whether that's because they don't get enough minutes. Ryan obviously is playing, he's on a regular run of games, which is always going to help a player, but he's really good technically, and to be fair, we've worked on that. Midfielders getting in the box, timing another run, and he is clinical finishing. He's a good finisher.
Is the only downside the fact you didn't get the clean sheet?
Yeah, it is, but I can't let that ruin it. Look, if you're winning by 5 goals and you don't keep a clean sheet, then so be it. You would rather have that than a 1-0. So yeah, really good today. Good for the players. Players enjoyed it, which is important.
Yeah, it was quite a strike as well, and everything else that Nicholas has had to do, he's done very comfortably.
I think he was very good, Nick. I think he's looking really confident. I think he's come out, and maybe sometimes that can help a player. He's come back in, and his performances have been very good. And I think today you've seen he's clutching out there at least half a dozen times when crosses are going in the box, and that kills opposition because he's a big boy and he just comes and gets it. And what he does do very well is gets us on the counter attack. I don't think he can. I think he's inches away from stopping the shot, but it is a good finish, to be fair.
Fitting that Kwame Poku gets a hat-trick in the week that he's got back-to-back Player of the Month.
Yeah, he needs to give someone else a chance, I think. We'll have to rename it Kwame Poku Survey. I said that to him when we announced it in front of the lads, but listen, the boy's unplayable at the moment. He's just so good, and that's why we had to keep him. I had to keep him, and there was offers for him, and there will be offers for him, and we're trying to we have offered him a new contract, me and the chairman are trying our best. It's going to be very tough, and you can see why. Because if you're watching him, the stats don't lie, and I'm just enjoying working with the boy, I've got to be honest.
We tried chasing back who else had done back-to-backs. I think there were only other 2 players, certainly not Peterborough players. It's the first time it's happened, and when you've been here, Darren, it's just an incredible achievement, really.
Yeah, it is, and he deserves all the plaudits and all the credit. But he'll admit himself, it wasn't just about him today. It was a very, very good team performance. So yeah, we move on now. We'll find out tomorrow if the Charlton game's on. It looks like it's going to be, but we probably want the game now. We're getting injured players back. I've got Hector behind us there, and he's coming back, which is massive for us. Rio's back soon. Obviously, Jadell's back in the building. So I think today we've shown what we're about.
Is this win more impressive than last year's win?
Yeah.
Tell us why.
Because we've not been on the run I don't think we were on then. We've been a bit inconsistent. And I think to do it again and to score 6 goals against anyone, any level is outstanding.
And what are you hoping it leads to, Darren, in terms of results?
I'm always the same as in it, and I've always been the same. I try to be the same, to keep very calm when a win like this happens and not get too down when we have defeats like we did at Wickham. But I think all credit goes to my players, because today they can really enjoy it. The fans really enjoyed it, and we've just got to keep working hard and try. The key to any success is consistency, Ben, and that's the thing we've struggled with. If we get consistency, then we know what we're about.
And on to Charlton with this momentum driving you?
Yeah, but our away form, our home form's looking good. That's massive for us, because you want to get that momentum. You want to have that fear when teams come to us, which I've had in the past. And we have to pick up as many points, obviously, as we can away from home. And, it's a tough place to go. But look, we can't go into it with any more confidence. We've just got to work with them on the training ground and keep trying to improve these players. But, it makes your job easy when you get the performances like we got today.
And one for the fans to enjoy.
Well, I loved it. And they end with the players. It was really good for everyone. I think for the players. But the fans, listen, 2 years running, we've absolutely smashed them. And you don't say that often.
Garry, first Cambridgeshire derby as youth head coach, and one that you'll remember for a long time, but for all the wrong reasons, of course.
Yeah, not a good one, especially obviously with the result. It's a bit of pill to take, isn't it? In any game, but especially a derby game. Thoughts on the game. I thought we started super strong. Do you know what I mean? That first 20 minutes of the game, exactly what we sort of planned to do and what we wanted to do, and then, like we know, I spoke about their attacking, during the week. It kind of flipped on its head really quickly, didn't it? And they've got those quick succession of goals. I think that was really the first sort of times they got to our box. We'd done really well up to that point, and I think the only frustrating bit there is we didn't capitalise on some of the good stuff that we had, and maybe took an opportunity there. But goals change games, and the quality that they had and what they showed, they were really ruthless in that period there. Quick goals, and then we didn't react well enough. We turned over the ball too much, and then after that second goal in our own half, and caused our own problems. And obviously they got, like I said, they were clinical and ruthless with it, and they obviously gave us a mountain to climb from that point.
Yeah, obviously that's a big lesson learned on that opening 20 minutes, plenty of possession, and you have to capitalise.
Yeah, look, we've been in this period of winning, we've been excellent at that. Do you know what I mean? Not giving away those sort of opportunities, being very good with our turnover of ball and making sure we use it well. And like I said, we started the game really, really strong, and they've quick succession of goals, really ruthless and clinical in those moments, and then all of a sudden you find yourself 2 or 3 goals down, and I think the players were a little bit in shock of that. Do you know what I mean? That's how I looked. I don't think we reacted quick enough or well enough after those, especially the first couple of goals that went, and the second half was a bit of it was more of a non-event really. Like, the game was out of reach at that point. We still kept going, but it was more arm's length, wasn't it, for both sides. And then but we're obviously hugely disappointed with the result, the manner of it. I don't think the result, the scoreline reflects really the whole game, but it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? We've got no excuses. It is what it is. We just didn't react well enough after what was a really strong start.
talked in the past about the results this season. There hasn't been a single game really where there's been a capitulation, but there was a little bit this afternoon. How worrying is that for you, Garry?
No, I think I said it to the players at the end. Of course, when you get results like this, it's not that you can accept them. Do you know what I mean? You have to hold each other to account, and we're all accountable for this type of result for sure. And there's things in there today which we haven't been doing in this run of games. You know, just like I said, the turnover of ball in critical moments in our own half, you know, cost us dearly, and then our reaction to that, which has been really strong. But I think also made sure that the players knew that. But I think also is to remind them, you know, we've made a lot of progress since we've adapted, you know, in this period of time. It's important that we remember that, and when we come into training next week, is that we have a response to what we have been doing really well and the progress we have actually made, and make sure that that comes clear in training and then taken into the Barnsley game.
It obviously didn't help James Gibbons having to come up. What's the situation there? And obviously you had to switch things round. Is that an effect as well?
Yeah, I think that was it's not an excuse for us, but I think that was a huge point in the game. I thought, you know, his knees doesn't look good. We'll see. I don't know what the extent of it will be, but it doesn't look good. So, you know, we can't afford that. Gibbo's been excellent. And you can see in that first 20 minutes, this type of game suits him. Do you know what I mean? He's rolls your sleeves out. It gives us another sort of dynamic with that back line. And hopefully it's not going to be too serious, but it doesn't look good at this moment in time.
Difficult half-time team talk, I would imagine, Garry, as well.
But the first half was one of them. You know, like there was lots to like about that first 20 minutes. Do you know what I mean? We were really where we wanted to be and doing really well. And like I said, they flipped it on its head. They were so ruthless and clinical. They didn't have loads of chances in that first half, but they took their first 2 or 3 and were ruthless with it. And then all of a sudden, you're 3-0 down. And it's 4-0, and I think the players, that's the most disappointing. We didn't react quick enough. Do you know what I mean? Even especially after the second goal, we didn't react quick enough to really respond and settle it down and get back to what we were doing quick enough. And obviously that's when then the result got away from us, and yeah, we need to respond better, of course. But then, like I said, it's important that we don't forget the progress we made since we've adapted. It's not by fluke. We have 5 wins and 5 clean sheets. I think we know the mistakes that we made today that proved really costly, and we have to make sure that next week there's a response to that, which I'm sure there will be with the character that we have in the group.
How do you go about restoring that pride and just recovering from today?
I think it's taking things like this, you know, experiences like this, you know, hurt. Do you know what I mean? And it does hurt this group of players. You know, looking at them in the changing room at the end of the game, and even at half time, things like that. So I expect a response. I'm sure that you'll see a response in the coming game against Barnsley, and we have a week to prepare and get focused for it. Try and dust ourselves down and give our fans something back in that next game. We have to respond. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, talking to the fans, obviously they came into today not wanting a repeat of last season, but that's what they've got, unfortunately, and obviously you'll feel for them.
Yeah, I don't know what the game was like last season here. I don't feel that the scoreline was a fair scoreline, but we can't complain. It's not an excuse. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? It's happened. So we have to respond. It's as simple as that. I think it's catching that balance right, and it's like of course it's not acceptable to lose a game in a derby game, especially, and with the scoreline that makes it feel even worse. All we can do is make sure next week is understand what we are good at, and we'll get back to that, understand what happened today, and then make sure that what we've been doing really, really well in this period is there on Saturday, and it's there in its fullest to try and repay and get back on that horse and get 3 points. So that's what we'll be focused on.